Hello viewers, welcome to the Microsoft Project Fundamentals. In today's video we will continue with Module 3 and we'll be looking at critical parts of our project plan. So we started with building a project plan with Mr. John for his storage house, and we will pull that up now. And remember that we defined all the activities, the duration, the start and finish time. We also added the resources, and then we also noticed that by using the same guy in two different activities that we want to go in parallel might be a problem, and that's why we get this conflict or what it calls over allocation. So this is a risk factor. When we talk about critical parts in a project, it means by the time you make a plan, you need to check for risk. And one of the risks is looking for your critical path. And what does critical path mean? It simply means a set of activities in your plan that really determines the end date of your plan or your project, which means if something goes wrong with those activities, chances that you will not finish when you plan. And one of the recipe for getting critical paths is when you have too many dependencies. Now in our plan here, we've set a lot of dependencies where some activities need to go before the others. It could be because there are different people doing it and they cannot work in parallel because one task needs to be finished. It could also be that we don't have enough resources even when some tasks could be done in parallel. Therefore, we need to wait. In the case of the window door guy, this is window, not window. Normally, you want to have that done in parallel, which means you need to get two different people to do that. But if you get the same person or guy to do this, then you would have to do this in sequence, which means your end date will not be 25th. And that's why you see it red. And which means this might be on the critical path as well. So how do you know from the set of tasks in your plan which ones are on the critical path? So let's adjust the view here. You can see a bit more. Let's see if we decrease a bit more. You can see. Okay. So to view your critical path, one simple way is simply you go to, depends if you want to see them, if you want to just view only the tasks which are your critical tasks, then one way to do that is you go to view and you go to filter. You say filter out only the critical tasks and click that. So here it shows you almost all your tasks are on the critical path, and that's because of the number of dependencies you have. So which is common with plans which has a lot of dependencies, so don't be surprised. So let me set this filter back to no filter, and then all the tasks appears again. Now another way which some people prefer to see that is they just want to see both the normal tasks and also which tasks are on the critical path. To do that, you can go to format and you can say critical tasks. And what you see here are the items in red are the ones on the critical path. And you can imagine that for things that are not relying on each other or dependent in that way, then chances are that it will not be a critical path. And the wood guy here can do his job together with the lady. Both depends on the mixer guy, but you see both can continue, but one of them might be on the critical path. And then the mixer guy and all that here, these are dependencies that must happen. So if one sleeps, the other sleeps. Your milestone will sleep if the sidewalk guy for some reason does not finish his work, or he does not finish his work because the floor guy did not finish, because the mixer guy did not finish, or because one dependency atop another. So there you go. And basically this is a really risky plan. in the sense that if you're planning to finish on the 25th of February, there is a high chance that you will not make it. And for the tasks that you have one guy doing, then you see that one of them definitely will be on the critical part because maybe he's able to finish one, but the other will be delayed because of the first one. And this is basically how you see your critical paths in a project. So when you make an initial plan, it's always nice to assess the risk. And that's why at the beginning of the course, we talked about a number of things when it comes to project management or planning or decision making. So you look at things like your resources, that's your people, the money, the scope of work, the quality you want to get out. You make a plan with all this and you make a risk assessment, like looking at the critical path. And that can help you make decisions to get more people, if you have more money to invest in the project in order to get the job done faster, or maybe it's not important to do it faster and you can buy more time and use the people available and relax the work itself. But this is an idea of how you look at it from a planning and management perspective. So thank you for listening, and I will talk with you in the next video on the next topic.